Hey guys, Technoman here with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the iPhone 11 in mid-2021, whether it's worth it or not. If you're looking to buy the iPhone 11 here in depth, we're going to discuss some of the things that you need to know. This phone was one of the hottest selling phones in 2019 when it was released. Even in 2020, it was a really popular phone, and there's a lot of reasons why, and we're going to break all of that down for you guys in this video. As you can see here, we have the white edition of the phone here. But before we go ahead and get started with the video, guys, if you guys are new to our channel, we do a lot of tech news, reviews, and giveaways, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you guys are looking for a phenomenal device like the iPhone 11 or any of the iPhones at a discounted price, make sure you guys check out the link in the description section. So as you can see here, the iPhone 11, as we mentioned, was released around September of 2019. In 2021, it's almost hitting its 2-year mark, and remarkably, this phone has been holding out really well, and we used it for that amount of time. As you can see here, on my other hand, is the product red edition of it. So we have the white one here and the product red edition of it. The color itself unique in a lot of ways. As you can see here, this phone you can actually get in quite a few colors. It also comes in purple, which was recently released as a special color. It comes in yellow and green, and of course a black as well. So if you're looking for multitude of color, you could probably look at the iPhone 11 and get it in different colors. This is not to get confused with the iPhone 11 Pro or the Pro Max. So the Pro and the Pro Max are similar size phone in terms of their design aspect, but you'll see a third camera. So the way to determine a regular 11 from the Pro and the Pro Max is that triple camera. So if you see a triple camera right here, that's the 11 Pro or the Max, which is slightly bigger than, of course, the Pro. Pro and the 11 are surprisingly the same size. It's that the 11 here is sort of not the premium flagship phone. It is a flagship phone from Apple. So if you're thinking what is the difference between it, and the difference we're going to discuss, and why the price point of the iPhone 11 is a $599 right now compared to $999 if you're buying the Pro, and then the Pro Max at $1099, and that's for the base 64 gig. You'll notice that these phones, the base 64 gig was released as 64 gig. As you can see, the iPhone 12 lineup, actually with the Pro lineup and the regular 12, comes with the 128 gigs. So Apple has bumped up the capacity there. As we mentioned, this is the display itself. As you see here, it's a 6.1 liquid retina HD display here. As you see, it's a phenomenal display here. It is an LCD version of it. It's not the OLED display that we have. It has the A13 Bionic chip, and this is just one step below the A14 Bionic chip because of the iPhone 12 that came out last year in 2020. Surprisingly, this phone, if you're thinking about battery life, it really has a big battery, and this is one of the interesting things we see on this phone is the big battery that it has. So after almost a year and a half to close to 2 years of usage, it's hitting. As you see here, we've been using this phone on and off. It's at 87%, and it only went down 13% of the battery health. This is this phone was used from a light to medium, so not too heavily, but if you follow common things like making sure the phone is always charged between 20 to 80%, your battery health will not go down as quickly. So that's one interesting to note about the iPhone 11 here, or any iPhone, to keep the battery in good health. We discussed that in a video. This phone is water resistant, so if you're looking to go ahead and take it for a dive, you can simply take it for a dive without having to worry about it. You can take it up to 2 meters for 30 minutes. So do careful that if you're taking it for a jump or whatever in the water, you can do that. One thing to note with this phone is simply the fact that both front and back are glass back, so you can do wireless charging with this phone. But then there's also the drawback to that, which is if any of the part front or back is cracked. This is going to be water compromised, and you don't want to be taking it for a drop. In terms of, we mentioned slightly, the base model starts at 64 gig. You can actually get this in other configuration. You can get a 128 gig, 256 gig as well. So if you're looking for more storage on the 11, you can go up to 256 gig. Unfortunately, you cannot go up to 512. If you're looking for the 512 gig, you'll look at the iPhone Pro or the Pro Max of the 11 lineup there. And in terms of weight, it weighs just under 7 ounces or so. And if you're comparing it to the 12 lineup, you'll notice that the 12 lineup, the 12 compared to this one is probably just under 6 ounces. So this phone is a little bit heavier in that sense, but it is that to mention. Other notable thing about this phone is its superior quality in terms of video recording and photography. As you can see here, we can take some phenomenal picture with the portrait mode. You're able to do all these settings that you have that's available on the other phone as well. Of course, because it doesn't have the third lens here, your phone, if you compare it with the 12 lineup, it's going to be slightly less zoom enhancement on that phone. Of course, you're able to do things like 4K recording from 24 frames per second all the way to 60 frames per second. And also on the front facing camera for your selfies, you do have a 1080 pixel camera there as well. So there's going a lot for this phone in terms of a camera. Of course, if you're looking to compare with the Pro lineup, which, as you mentioned, those are this is the 12 Pro with the triple camera, and this is the 11. This is $1,000 phone versus a phone that's $600, almost $400 difference. Doesn't matter in terms of triple camera versus 2 dual camera. Simply, does 3. Of course, 3 cameras are a little bit better, but you're also paying for that. That's why the iPhone 11, Apple, when released it, it was dropping the price down so that it was more accessible in terms of affordable, if you will. Not quite affordable, but for some folks, this is affordable model with all of the features that come with the Pro lineup that you have. And talking about software of this phone, as you notice on this phone, we have all of these applications downloaded. And that's because the iPhone 11 is able to update, get the iOS 14 update, and update wide, it's going to be getting at least another 3 to 4 years of software updates. That's because Apple generally supports its your flagship phone for a good 4 to 5 years. So expect this phone to be relevant with at least another 4 years. You're going to not have any issues in terms of getting the major updates and all the features that come with it. So in terms of comparing it with the 12 lineup, in terms of software updates, it's probably just going to be 1 year less compared to that phone, but it will get that update. So talking about our experience, of course, this phone makes a great phone for video watching or watching movies. If you're watching Disney Plus and Netflix, Hulu, whatever your channel is, because of that 6.1 display that we have, it's an excellent display to watch videos on. You have that capability. So entertainment wise, all of these applications that we have that we use, excellent there. In terms of gaming, because this phone with a bigger screen, gaming is a lot more easier than the previous generation of smaller phones. So of course, we like to say, gaming wise, it is good. One thing we do want to mention around gaming is that if you're playing games that are meant to play on the game console, like Fortnite, PUBG, or any of those games that you play on specifically game console, you're going to notice that compared to the actual Pro lineup, it's not going to be as fast. You may feel a little bit of heat up, but still gets the job done. But your basic gaming wise, excellent, phenomenal for all of those gamings that don't require that much power and such. So you'll notice that is one thing with the iPhone 11 lineup here. Of course, if you're a social media person, all of your popular apps, because it's running iOS 14, will work. So you can be on it all day pretty much doing your social, all media. Of course, that's what you're using it for. Same thing for basic calling and texting. Of course, this phone, that's what Apple does so well with the software. Basic calling and texting, we find that it gets you through day, for someone that doesn't care about all the fancy stuff but wants a phone specifically for that communication purpose. It does that exceptionally well. And then other things, if you're using it for maybe shopping or things like that, or just browsing around, using it for daily stuff, you notice when we fire up the apps, they open up really quick. That A13 Bionic chip that we said, it's pretty close competition with the 14 chip. So we see that there's not too much of a difference when it comes to multitasking, using it for your productivity tool, your finance tool, all of that, and much more. You'll be able to do anything you would do if you had a computer. Actually, if you're thinking about a phone that has all that power, it's surprising how much a phone can do in 2021, like the iPhone 11 versus having a computer as well. So to mention, is the iPhone 11 worth it in mid 2021? We say absolutely, it is still worth it and relevant, although it is approaching close to 1.5 to 2 years since it's been out, and it's still a hot selling phone because it is more on the budget friendly side compared to some of the other phones that we've seen. And it does not have triple camera, but those two dual camera does exceptionally well when it comes to photography, and of course front facing camera for selfies. The thing, of course, the iPhone, if you're comparing it to the 12 lineup which came out, is that it doesn't have 5G, and that's probably one of the big drawbacks of the 11 lineup. As you notice with the 12 Pro here, we have that 5G antenna. That's probably one of the big deciding factors when it comes to deciding between the iPhone 11 and the 12 of lineup. And even with the 12 lineup, most carriers, 5G is still new, so to take advantage of 5G, it's going to be some time before 5G become mainstream, and that means even with having a 5G compatible phone might not be something that makes a difference for you, but it's something we want to mention between these two phones. Of course, between these two phones, as you know, or any of the 12 lineup, this phone does get the job done, and a lot more feature packed phone that's able to get you throughout the day. In terms of battery life that we've been using it, we say if you're somewhere that's a medium user, so you're not too crazy or glued to the phone, you can pretty much go the whole day with the full single charge to do basic stuff on it. You don't want to overload the phone, of course, but it will allow you to do pretty much anything you want. And this is why this phone, as you see here, does get a lot of the work done, and this is why we're saying the iPhone 11 is definitely worth it for the money you're spending. If you were to choose this phone, if you have a chance, we say go for it because of how long it will be supported and all of the features that come with the iPhone 11. So there you guys have it for our review. We want to hear from you guys. If you guys are currently using it, looking to upgrade, any questions you guys have, any experience, what do you guys, your thoughts are on the iPhone 11 in 2021? Leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.